Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Roderick Coleman, and I'm back here uh, on my deck. I love my deck in the fall. You know, pretty soon we're gonna have a fire going, especially on my birthday. We usually come out here with a fire that helps keep it warm. In Minnesota, you gotta enjoy the fall because the simple fact is, fall is our shortest season. Hey, summer, a month of fall, and then the winter hits, and man, that lasts to April. Oh, it's not a good thing. Not a good thing. But, you know, state is all right. I like it. But welcome to the Aspers Kicking the Bobo. One of the things that we seem to not understand when people are talking to African Americans is that not all African Americans are alike. People think we are, but we're not. And so I was thinking about what to say, and then I was like, you know what? And I don't know if this is a word, but African Americanism. African Americanism. Wow, has a good ring to it. If it's not, hey, it's my turn, all right? African Americanism is basically when people tend to lump us all in the same category when we're not. We are very different people. We think different, we talk different, we walk different, we act different. But one thing is in common, we know that we're all the son of Negro slaves. And for the most part, you know what? We get along well. People in Chicago is different from black folks in Alabama. Black folks in Alabama is different from black folks in California. Black folks in California is different from black folks in New York. We all have our own separate, distinctive cultures, just like the cultures in Africa. Kenyans are not like Ugandans. Ugandans are not like Nigerians. Nigerians are not like Gambians. We're all different. We're all raised different. We all think different. One of the things you have to understand is that there are three types of African Americans. When you think about African Americans, you think about who they are. Say for instance, for the first one, we're gonna say there are separatists, there are those who are integrated, and then there are those who are assimilated. Those who are separated are those who believe black is everything. You know, our food is black, or our house is black, or gates are black. We only hang around black folks, and we don't deal with anybody. We go to all black schools, and we just deal with black people. We want to be separated from the rest of the population. That's what we think. The bad thing about it is that you can't celebrate other different types of cultures. You know, you can't enjoy Chinese food. You can't enjoy Italian food because everything has to be black. Then you have assimilation. Assimilation is when a person of another culture tend to assimilate into a different culture. Now, as far as African Americans is concerned, assimilation is a bad word because we were not assimilated into mainstream society. We refused to. That's almost worse than the N-word. You tell a black man he's assimilated, man, that's almost a fight. Because we're not. We're not assimilated. We believe in our culture. We like to do our culture. Whatever our culture is, that's what we like to do. Now, being assimilated, you have to think about it. What's assimilation? Assimilation is what we would call, let me give you an example. Someone would be like, someone famous, Clarence Thomas, Supreme Court Justice.
When it came time for him to publicly respond to the allegations, Thomas turned the tables on his interrogators and, for all intents and purposes, ended the debate.
This is a circus. It's a national disgrace. It is a high-tech lynching for uppity blacks who in any way deign to think for themselves. And it is a message that unless you kowtow to an old order, you will be lynched, destroyed, caricatured by a committee of the U.S. Senate rather than hung from a tree.
We would say he's assimilated. His beliefs and everything is basically are those of the others. I'm not saying nothing wrong with it for him, but I can't do it. I was born and raised in Alabama. I was also raised in Harvey, Illinois. 2 different states. So I got to see the best and the worst of both those states and how they are different, how the people are different from one another. And now as an adult, I've been in Minnesota for 30 years. And how blacks here in Minnesota are different from blacks in Chicago. They're just different. So I got to experience all that. You have what we call the last one is integration. That's when you integrate into society. You're accepting of anybody and everyone. You like different foods. You might even marry into a different culture, but everything is accepted and everything goes. Now, you can be partially some of all and not just a separatist, not just integrationist, and not just assimilationist. You can be parts of all of them. I would like to think that I'm more of in between the lines of integration and separation. There are certain things I want separated, certain things I don't want separated. And as far as integration is concerned, there are certain things that I think is way out there, and I don't want no parts of it. If it's good for you, it's good for you, and that's fine. I won't have anything to say about that. Just don't try to force it on me. So when people think of African Americans, they got to think that you just don't walk up to any African American and think they're the same as any other African. I would like to say that about Africans too. You don't walk up to a Gambian and think just because he's a Gambian, him and someone from Uganda or Rwanda are the same type of person. Different cultures. They have different standards. Even when you're talking about a person from Alabama who's a Pan-African, or a person from Illinois who's a Pan-African, or a person from California who's a Pan-African. There are certain different beliefs, even within that. So we have to understand that we're not the same. I can remember walking down the street. I was walking, and I walked past this car. And this white lady was sitting in the car. And as soon as I got up to the car, she hit her lock. I laughed. I'm thinking, I'm the last person you have to worry about breaking in your car. But because of that neighborhood, she assumed that I lived in the neighborhood and that I was probably part of the crime spree. You see what I'm saying? She just looked at me and she thought that. Now, don't get it twisted. I can care less about what she believes about me. I don't care. That's how I rock. And that's how I roll. I don't care. But the thing about it is, it's just an example. I was walking down the street in Minnesota, and there's someone from California who told me that he was talking normal, and he was saying things like, you know what, man? What they're doing here is not right. We would never do that in California. But you know what? Here in Minnesota, it's accepted. Maybe not in California, among African Americans there, but here, it was accepted. Because we're just different. One man looked at me from mainstream society. He shook another black man's hand and he went, the regular, no, this right here. And I reached my hand out, shake his hand, and he tried to do it with me, and I didn't do it with him. Not that I don't know how, and not that I haven't done it before, but he hadn't earned that with me. What he have to understand is, not all black people shake hands like that. Not all black people go, yo, what's up, man? You know what I'm saying? I don't talk like that. My children don't talk like that. None of my children's friends talk like that. But I'm pretty sure they know some people that do, but it's rare. But because they believe in the stereotypes of how we react one to another and how we react to them, it's crazy. Our political views are different. For instance, a young black man from Alabama, he might vote Democrat, but a lot of his views are conservative. And the guy from Minnesota might vote Democrat, but a lot of his views are moderate to liberal, because our social issues are different. And we want different things out of life. And we got to understand that people are going to force their own beliefs on us. The propaganda about black folks are so high and so rigid and so out there that you even got a lot of black people thinking that all black people are alike. I was a therapist in a prison, and I was counseling a young black man. You know what he told me? He said, I'm a real black man. See, you work for the white man and you do all this. And he said, I'm a real black man. And I went, so you don't think that I'm a real black man? So what you're telling me, black man got to go out, do drive-bys, because this is what he did. Go out, do drive-bys, you know, at other black men and sell drugs to other black men. So that's a real black man. But when the black man got a family, wife, kids, good job, house, he what? He's not a black man? So our standards for who we are is you. You're holding the mantle for black people. He thought about that, and he went, well, wow, I didn't think about that. I say, look, man, you are a black man, but you are a black man that needs help. You're broken. You have distorted thinking, and you need to change your life. But you are a black man, but so am I. And if he knew who I was, he would never said I ain't no real black man. But you see, we're all different. And nobody has the blueprint for a real black man. We're all black men. We just have different beliefs, different walks, different talks. The main thing is we got to get together. I'm going to always say this in all my videos, that we got to get together, especially us from Pan-Africanism. And I'm very serious about we got to come away from among the rest of them and separate ourselves until they are ready. But they're not ready for what we are ready for. And we can't wait for it. I'm not waiting on them. I'm not going to spend 30 years trying to convince somebody to love themselves and to put energy into what we feel that we should be doing as a nation of people. I'm not finna do that. You can do it, but I'm not finna do it. And that's why I'm out trying to get us to start something new that's gonna help us. Start a new movement to move on Pan-Africanism by turning ourselves into a legitimate community that people could see, feel, and touch, where we can deal with people as a whole, pick out our representatives to go to nations and let them know that, guess what? All black people ain't going around drive-bys and doing drive-bys and selling drugs, because that's what they believe. And we got to show them how strong we are. Because I seen a British black guy who looked down at an African American, had no idea who he was, never met an African American, but he looked down at him. I would never look down at myself as an African American, because I believe that just like anybody else, we're the cream of the crop, and we have done more for the world than anybody. And with that, I would like you to share this video with others. Subscribe and hit the like button. If you don't share this video, then the world won't know. And we can't get out, and we won't be able to come together. I know that when you see people like me sitting here, and we're not talking about somebody else's business, it's not the hip thing. You want me to talk about this person and their business so they can respond to me. And then you got this response, and then you're sitting there and you're listening to it, and you're hitting the like button, and then you're viewing. That's not that's not what this is. This is about doing something. You let me say something about Shaq and put a rumor out there about Shaq. Man, I have 100,000 views. and 50,000 subscribers. But then they'll be waiting for what Shaq got to say about what he didn't do because I put it out there. I don't rock like that. That's why this movement is going to take a long time. Wise man said that there are people out there that have itchy ears. What itchy ears means is that they want to hear the gossip. They listen to gossip. Things that are serious, they think they got time. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and hit the bell. Because we're going to come out with a lot of interesting subjects that have to do with Pan-Africanism. And I want all of you to be on alert that we need two plans. We need dual citizenship here and there. I'm not saying you got to move out of America. I'm just saying have a second plan. Have somewhere else to go. Invest somewhere else in Africa instead of investing in these other countries. Because these other countries invested in Africa. Don't get left out. I'm not. Like I say, I'm going to be heading off to Sierra Leone in December. Boots on the ground, seeing what's there, And then from there, I'm going to go. I'm going to go to Ghana. I'm going to go to Gambia. I'm going to go to a whole bunch of different other countries in Africa. See what's there. See what I can invest in so I can have my legacy for my children. I bet you this right here. Sometimes we don't understand each other. I bet you they like me better than the others. And with that, next time, we're going to be talking more about Pan-Africanism and African Americanism. Remember that word? That's me. All right, with that, thank you.